you have a shot of holding on to certain houses while the seats down the line. It's beyond, it's not logical as to why they would completely concede these areas. I'm not only talking about New York State.
No, I know.
I'm talking about, you have a lot, because very high populace. Look at Miami, look at the way they've fixed Florida since 2000.
It's amazing.
The way I look at it. And I know a lot of people, like my parents, stayed down there, they moved down there, they voted that way.
Right.
And they were able to, new poll just came out today, 54-43.
Huge, hugely,
Florida.
hugely.
But it's that agenda.
But it's, you know, but your point is well taken. I mean, the New York State Republican Party for the last 20 years has just given it up. I mean, look at Lee Zeldin. He got 49% of the city, 49 counties out of 62.
That was such a...
Well, how did you do in Nassau and Suffolk?
Took them both.
You took them both.
Took them both. Nassau, Suffolk County. It was the city.
Westchester was
the city they killed. Westchester.
Final city.
It's this.
Well, the city
needs its own electoral.
Needs an exercise.
You look at right here, in this district. I bet you he won this area right here.
Yeah, there's certain areas he didn't win, like.
But, you know, again, but you look here and, you know, you look at the Brooklyn, you have 5 Senate seats, you had nobody running, and 11 Assembly seats. You have no candidate running.
As far as I'm concerned, so people like Gondard shouldn't be there. They're not, you don't have people that are up to the job saying, look at this, they don't want law and order, look what they did.
Well, see, again, and that's, you know, when I was out doing my 48, trying to fill the 48, I'd get pushed back and say, you're not vetting these candidates. And my point is if they sign on to the common sense contract, they're vetted. They believe in these issues. And if they don't, and like I tell the candidates when I meet with candidates, if you do not do what you do on the contract, we'll keep a scorecard. 2 years from now, we'll be back and bring somebody else in. But we have to do that work. That's a lot of work to do. But it has to get done if we want to try to stay here in New York, you know, which I personally want to.
In my district, I'm the district leader of the 44th Assembly District. And every year that I've been district leader since 2013, I made it my point to make sure no matter what, we run a candidate. Okay, I ran also in 2016. I ran in 2008 as a state senate candidate. In 1998 I ran for when I was living in the 48th Assembly District when the districts get redistricted. So it's important to run a candidate. I don't care if it's going to get slaughtered at the polls because it's the Alamo.
You're gonna keep your name out.
You've got to run. You've got to have a choice. You need to build a foundation from somewhere. If you don't have anything, they're going to see the neglect, the rot, and then no one's going to be enthused to do anything.
Exactly.
They don't see a name, they're going to just, what's the point?
See,
One gets jaded.
and again, name recognition is so big in politics that we've all been told. But again, 1994, that's how Newt Gingrich ran. People did not vote for the candidate. They voted for the contract with America. And that's what we're doing here. Anybody, so we'll have a website up. I'll have everybody that is a signator. I have 3 congressional candidates already that they're not going to be signatories because it's not their policy, they're federal, but they will endorse the common sense contract
Yeah, but
with New York.
Gingrich was a very good teacher, still is a good teacher today.
Yeah, oh yeah,
And
no.
you need someone who's a good communicator.
Yes, but again, this is simple. This is simple. Could be read in 2.5 minutes. Now people know that you as a candidate, I'm pledging to you that this is what I'll do, and if I don't do it, get rid of it. All right? Which that doesn't happen in politics anymore. Yes, ma'am.
At the last election, I can tell you, I was pretty scared. I vote, Glenn, I vote right here on Avenue C. And there have been times that I've been about threatened because they do know that I'm a, vote Republican, conservative. And I can't stand the poll. It's unsafe.
You're not alone. You're not alone in that concern. However, we're at a point where if we want to save this state, there's some, we got to do stuff that normally would concern us greatly. I also want to work with the New York City Police Department to have them controlling the polling places better.
What I'm you know, I'm part of the Orthodox community here.
Mhm.
We should be able to get some like the showman. We should be able to generate some strength there.
You should. This area
So
here.
who was it? Was it somebody, a poll worker, or just somebody else next
I
to?
had there was a general feeling that you didn't know if your ballot was going to be counted correctly.
I want to make sure, I look at every point,
And
put in the
again-
scanner.
Are you at
I
the
live
Well, we're doing the poll work.
Front area.
Back to
But you gotta make
I live in
sure,
the front area.
The old voting
Oh,
machines.
oh, you do.
I want to go back to those. You know,
I
just-
Steve,
you're in the-
what's your thoughts on making sure people vote early?
You know, I'm this way and that way about that, you know, and I understand the argument. I understand both sides of the argument, and the Republican Party split on that too. Get out early and vote early, you know, early voting. Don't wait for election day. That's true, you know, so I can understand that argument, because what happens is the Democrats, then if you don't get, they get out and they vote early.
And often-
Now going into election day, they know what numbers they need to fix the vote. And they know then I got to put an X amount of things, you know, ballots in order to make the numbers look better, you know. And we know this is going on, we all know. So the question comes into play, how do we fight all this? And believe me, there's efforts going on. We have right now also, Project Civica, we're working with this new program that we're getting, IV3, where we're going to be able to determine exactly by address with a Google map search, where we can see that 42 people are registered in a bodega, or that this. We can track all that now. We have the capacity. The problem in other states, Jersey and other states, you as a group could go and say, hey, I got 62 people voting out of this UPS building, or this Starbucks, or whatever the case may be, or this vacant lot. 62 people. And they could bring it to the county election board. And
Well, they tried that in Georgia.
they'll do it in other areas, but New York State, they do not have to fix it.
Well, here on the thing with the Board of Elections, they used to send a mailing around, see every now and then if a name hasn't voted in eons. They send it out, hi, we're sending, make sure you're a voter or you're here or whatever. And if it's not returned by, let's say they moved in dead, and I'm the new owner of the house, and they're like, oh, this person don't live here anymore, then throw it out. Now, what they're supposed to do is return to sender, not here, no more. And that's supposed to go to the post office and then sent to the Board of Elections, and from that, they're supposed to purge the thing. But now I'm hearing, I don't know if this is true, some people in this audience work at the Board of Elections, that they're no longer doing that at all? They're not purging any list anymore, is that true? Okay, so that might be a thing, but
Well,
they ain't doing that no more.
we know that that's an issue. We also know that the DMVs.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing, why can't there be a legislation that when someone dies, that the Social Security Administration
They
sends
do,
out
Glenn.
and
They
sends it to
do.
the board?
They
Why
do.
do I have my friend Raymond, my brother's friend Raymond, who died in Brazil in whatever the heck, almost 20 years ago? Why is he still a registered voter?
I'll tell you why. Because towards the end of his life, they were sending the Social Security to Brazil where he was. And what Social Security does is they send a listing to where they expect that the person died. So he never, when he went to Brazil, he never gave up his registration here in New York.
Right.
So they told Brazil, whatever, who cares, California, that that's where he died, and New York never finds out.
Yeah, and I keep telling him, I said, take his name off. I mean, he was a
Exactly.
Republican. I mean, I
And
guess
the-
this Josh could sign my petition one day,
And-
but
And you have to, the complicated thing is families are not gonna do it.
No.
You have to send in a
none of
death
them live at that
certificate.
address anymore.
Who does that? And who would even think to do it? And who would think if I moved to Pennsylvania to give up my registration here?
Right.
Nobody knows this, and
And they have to be, you know, and it's a national change of address. That is, so there is systems in place to take care of those problems. Okay, there are. We just don't utilize them.
But
I mean,
does
national
any
change of
state
address.
use them?
Yes, other states do, and now so much legislation is taking place in other states right now that are putting together programs to work with the National Change of Address, okay, and the Social Security for dead people. The question comes into play then, what does the state law say as far as purging? Do you purge them to take them off, or do you just purge them? Now, we know for a fact that there is 1.3 million purge voters that voted in 2022.
Where, in the country or in the?
No, New York.
Oh, New York.
New York State.
Ghost
There
of
should
New
be a law.
York.
You miss a
16th
couple
Halloween.
of election cycles, you have to re-register. You get knocked off the list, then you have to re-register.
There's systems in place that could be done. I mean, look at the DMV, all right? So my old organization, they just had a meeting with the BOE in Suffolk County. And the question came up is, how do you do? So when somebody goes to register for a driver's license, all right, there's a box on the corner at the bottom of the application. You have to check the box to say you do not want to be registered as a voter. Now, the way the law, which is called HAVA, Help America Vote Act, is that the Board of Elections, the County Board of Elections, has 21 days to verify that that person that got their license, that they are actual citizens.
They don't.
We got a meeting 2 weeks ago. They said they haven't done it since 2011. So everybody that voted, that
It's an honor.
registered, and it's an honor system. And it's specific, so we foiled the Board of Elections for Suffolk County, and basically, it's an honor system. But that's not, and that's why we're in the position we are. I mean, it's awful. You know, it's really, it's so unorganized. And it's not unorganized, and, you know, just to give you a little bit more background of the old work that we did, we turned over to the New York State Board of Elections, the FBI and Homeland Security for the 2022 elections, 5.1 million anomalies in the New York State voter rolls. 5.1 million.
So are you
Anomalies.
saying that the driver's license and the Board of Elections has the power to check to see if we're all citizens or not?
They have the responsibility, according to law. They could check with the Social Security Department to see if they're registered in Social Security. And Social Security apparently has a different registration for a non-citizen with Social Security and a citizen that's paying Social Security.
So it's all going through Social Security?
It's all going through Social Security. Or national, but it also could be done through national, change of address, but that's an overall package. But yes, they could
But
find
when you
it all
register to
through.
vote, they only have you
Right.
give the last 4 digits of your social. How can you check me through my last 4 digits?
Right.
It's the system, that's the point. The system is
right?
so screwed up. It's so screwed up, and it's purposefully done. We found 4 algorithms in the New York State voter roll, algorithms that are in there, that have no reason to be in there, but they're in there.
Can we talk about the new voting machines that are coming up?
So you have the brand new, and we're filing, we're gonna be partner filing a suit up in Erie County. So you have the new voting machines, they're XXL, whatever it's called. But
Touchscreens.
they're touchscreens, like an ATM machine. They do not produce a piece of paper.
Paper trail.
What? There will be
There's no paper.
no paper trail. If this gets, it's through, it was passed and approved. So the lawsuit that that we're joining with Smart Elections, we're filing with them to stop it up in Erie County. If we stop it up in Erie County, then there will be actual precedents for the rest of the state. All right, because number one, they cost millions and millions of dollars, all right, for the machines. 2, you will never be able to do an audit of the board of the elections again.
I understood some of the states went back to paper after they had
So
that touchscreen.
there,
like
people
Pennsylvania.
are going, some states and counties, I think the last number I heard was like 420 counties in the state have gone back to paper ballots. All right, now we, Project Civica, we've already had 2 classes on it, and we're training people on how to do hand counting of paper ballots. So it's a big issue, it's cheaper to do, all right? It's more accurate to do, and it's been proven in areas that it's been used. You're not spending tens of millions of dollars on voting machines, which they want to do. And, just, well, funny, this machine that we're talking about, so the chair of the assembly election law committee in the assembly. Our chief of staff just happens to be a sponsor working with now with the voting machine company. What a coincidence. I don't know how that happened.
Right.
Yes.
Can you explain a little bit, because I don't know any, I didn't hear of this, is that there's no independence party versus common sense?
There's no independence party anymore.
In the country?
No, in New York State.
York.
Cuomo got rid of it.
You make up a name like Flatbush, something.
It could be whatever you want it to be. But you are not then, that's to get a line on the ballot, okay?
Let's get a
But
what on the
a
ballot?
line on the ballot, Republican, Democrat.
Right.
And then they're gonna have the common sense party,
Oh,
where you used to have, you had Republican, Democrat, Independent
Right.
line, but now they don't. So now you have Diane Sarah, who's running for state senate. All right, she's gonna be running as the Libertarian Party. All right, but there's no more independent party. They just got rid of it.
What about conservatives? Conservatives still there?
Conservative line, yeah. Still have the conservative,
so I
and,
don't understand.
Is that still
Is a
placed third
libertarian,
conservative?
yes.
is a libertarian, but it's not independent anymore?
Correct.
How could they do that?
The Libertarian
They
is
do
its
it-
own party, I don't know what happened.
And they do whatever they want because they have all three branches.
It used to be the Independence Party.
There was always an independent, it was until Cuomo got rid of it, I think like 8-10 years ago.
But it's still on voter registration.
We have it on the voter registration form.
Right. I know.
So
but-
then what do you register? Nothing? Blank. There's a blank.
Just they were-
There's a blank on there.
Oh, right,
That
yeah,
wasn't
that-
when I registered.
Probably make your identifier.
It's crazy. I mean, it's so screwed up, the system, and it's purposefully done that way because it makes it challenging for anybody to do anything.
Basically, a legal alien could get a voter registration form, not fill out the last 4 digits of anything. And when the next time they vote, they ask for an ID, for the first time only. If you
Yeah.
didn't fill out the last 4 digits or your driver's license number.
It comes up in your
You have, it says
Show your
signature
license.
required, so the first time they get to vote, they'll show their ID, because New York State gives them an ID, right? It could be any photo ID, state issued, right, or whatever, city issued, here it is, and it's an honor system. Are you a citizen of the United States? Will you be 18 years old?
Right.
Yes, and try getting me.
It
And
can
who's
also
been
just be a
convicted of this?
government check.
No one. Don't worry, Brad will.
The government check
Anyway,
works too. That's it, really, yeah.
It's disgusting.
It is.
Our
It's-
system is failed.
And this is how, and sometimes when I talk, I talk about it, we're a representative government, okay? And twofold. One, how bad the election system is set up, the voting system is set up. Second thing is, if we have 48 candidates that we don't even have an opposition party running, how's that a representative government when you're not giving people a choice?
Right.
You're not giving them any choice. Like Len said, like he does, get people on the ballot. Just get people on the ballot and give people an option so they feel they want to come out and vote. Why are you going to come out and vote? I mean, especially in the midterms elections, why are you going to come out if in fact you...
Is there a way to legislate or something to reform New York because of these horrible signatures? It's like the 19th century. You have to knock on people's doors at weird hours, especially it's in the wintertime now. It used to be the summer months that you could get signatures. Now with this weird way
Right,
of doing
because you have to
elections
start
cycle, it's like
Right.
400 elections during the whole year. And you have to start in like the end of February sometimes, or beginning of whatever it is.
The second week of February is
Yeah,
when you can start.
it's just a horrible time of the year. There's ice on the floor normally, thank God for global warming. We haven't had snow for a while, right? See, that's a good thing, guys, right? Yeah, global warming. Anyway, so it's manipulation of the weather, but anyway.
It's evolution of
So-
the earth.
What I'm saying is that it's the horrible time of the year. You're knocking on someone's door, it's nighttime. Who the hell wants to open up their door at nighttime? People scared of getting strong-arm robberies and all that. No one wants to open up the door, or if you're a scammer, hi, I want your information. I don't know who the hell you are. It's hard enough. Now, other states do what? Bonds, where they put up a
Yes,
bond?
so
Why can't we
that's-
put up a bond or something?
That was Kara's argument in the courts.
Yes.
All right,
It's
it's access. And then you have another, the second congressional district out in Suffolk County, that there was a challenger, Shannon. And she got signatures, she got 15,000 signatures, and they knocked her out. And because the Republicans knocked her out. because they don't want somebody running against their candidate, just like they did with Kara. They didn't want somebody running against their candidate, so it was actually the one that challenged Kara was the Queen's candidate.